Was this the scariest job in history? During the Vietnamese War, the Viet Cong developed an elaborate system of tunnels that stretched deep into enemy territory. The American response was the tunnel rat, a small soldier that would infiltrate the network, oftentimes alone and armed only with a flashlight and pistol. The tunnel systems were notorious for being booby-trapped. This included tripwires that triggered cave-ins, floodings, or even baskets of scorpions to drop. One of the more common traps was a punji pit, which was usually urinated on to increase the chance of infection. Once the trap was triggered, the Viet Cong would leave the victim there so his comrades could hear him screaming. This would force the Americans to send even more men down. But it wasn't just booby traps and Viet Cong. The tunnels were also home to a host of nasty jungle creatures, such as lightning-fast centipedes, enormous tropical spiders, swarms of fire ants, and extremely poisonous snakes. It's estimated that out of every 100 tunnel rats, only 12 survived. So,
Adolf Hitler was a prominent political figure in the early 20th century, but many aspects of his life and beliefs remain misunderstood. Here are 5 facts that you may not know. Hitler served in the German army during World War I and was twice awarded the Iron Cross for bravery. He was a skilled public speaker and used his oratory skills to rise to power in the Nazi Party. Hitler was a vegetarian and avoided smoking and drinking alcohol. The infamous Nazi symbol, the swastika, was actually a symbol of good luck in Hinduism and Buddhism before being appropriated by the Nazi Party. Hitler was responsible for the deaths of millions of people, including 6 million Jews during the Holocaust, making him one of the most notorious figures in history.
meet the youngest pharaoh to ever rule. Pepi II was about 6 years old when he became the king of Egypt. He was a tiny child ruling a massive kingdom, and his priorities were exactly what you would expect a 6-year-old boy's to be. The young king, as you might imagine, was a little spoiled. Shortly after he became king, an explorer named Harkov wrote him a letter reporting that he had met a dancing pygmy. It was the greatest thing Pepi II had ever heard. He had to see it for himself. "Drop everything," Pepi II ordered Harkov. "Come north to the palace at once." He wanted that dancing pygmy, and he would not risk it for anything. Harkov was under strict orders not to let anything happen to the pygmy. "When he goes down with you to the boat, get trusty men to stand around him on the gangplank. Don't let him fall in the water. When he goes to bed at night, get trusty men to lie all round him in his hammock. Inspect 10 times a night." Some say Pepi II got his dancing pygmy, and pretty much everything else he ever asked for. By the time he had grown up, he was so corrupt that he made his slaves strip naked, cover themselves in honey, and follow him around just to keep the flies away.